Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Conversation. My name is Craig, of course, and I am a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. We are back live.
Good morning. My name is Karen. I'm also a Capital Recovery Coach.
Good morning. My name is Michael, one of your grateful recovery coaches, and again, we are here with dark colored shirts. But anyway, we did not call each other. So we are here today to do another coffee and conversation. We thank everybody who always tune in or who watch the recording later. So we will be going over a few different things that we will do part 2 of this particular lesson. And we have any announcements?
Recovery on Wheels is going to be out this Wednesday. Yeah, this Wednesday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 39 East Broad Street at Wendy's.
Oh, right. So we'll put it on the screen so you guys can see it. Recovery on Wheels will be at Wendy's in Bristol, New Jersey. Please, if you want any support dealing with anything dealing with recovery, or if you have anyone that needs some type of substance use disorder treatment, bring them out, or you could come out and get some information. If you're in need of any type of, in need of Narcan, you can also come there. You'll be educated on a brief education on the Narcan, how to administer it, and different procedures that you should do in the event of that situation.
But they have it in Spanish as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yep. All right.
And so to all of our Spanish-speaking people in our community, if you ever see this flyer, we want you to be a part of this as well. So read it and come out and join us. How do you say that in Spanish, Karen?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
You put me in the spot there.
All right.
You're welcome.
Hola.
That's what I thought about. I thought about that. But anyway,
yeah.
Again, welcome to our coffee and conversation.
I promise I do speak Spanish.
So again, if you have any services, you can always contact us. Today we're doing coffee and conversation. Today's lesson is going to be a part 2 of something that we have did previously. It's the 5 rules of recovery that we got off of the website called addictionsandrecovery.org. They have a lot of different things that you can get for your own personal edification or for teaching or lessons that we're doing like we're doing today. We do not declare or say that we know it all. We just give you things that we think will be helpful in your recovery process, and we teach from our own personal experiences. So today will be part 2 of the 5 rules of recovery. So today will be part 2. Part 1, we did change your life. Rule 1 was change your life so that it's easier for you not to use. Number 2 was ask for help and develop a recovery circle. And number 3 is be completely honest with yourself and everyone in your recovery circle. Honesty, brother. You gotta I always tell individuals we can't change behaviors that we're not willing to address. And although it might be a challenging process, you have to be honest. You have to be honest about the situation. Be completely honest with yourself and everyone in your recovery circle. All right, who wants to start reading?
Well, no, I'll give it a try.
All right, go ahead, man.
Rule 3. All right. Be completely honest with yourself and everyone in your recovery circle. And an addiction requires lying, right? So if someone's in an addiction, normally they are very manipulative. You have to lie about getting your drugs, using it, hiding its consequences, and planning your next relapse. And addiction is full of lying. By the time you develop an addiction, a substance use disorder, lying comes easy to you. after a while, you are so good at lying that you end up lying to yourself. And that is so true. You have to say so many lies to try to keep up, to remember the first lie that you told. And so that's what comes with lying. That's why people with substance use disorder often feel that they don't know who they are.
Wow.
The result of all that lying is that you don't like yourself. You can't look yourself in the mirror. Lying creates a vicious cycle. The more you lie, the less you like yourself, which makes you want to escape your feelings, which leads to more using and more lying. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times we begin to put on this facade. We begin to put on a mask to tell ourselves, to make ourselves feel good that we are on track and that we are living a healthy lifestyle, when in all actuality, we are just lying to ourselves. People around us know that we are not living our best life.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it shows. However, when we submerged in so much of substance use disorder, we cannot see the effects that we're causing and the hurt and harm that we're causing, not only ourselves, but also our loved ones.
Okay, never see it.
Right? And so we always go around being manipulative and facetious, fake and phony.
And that's why one of the things he really said, the result of all this lying is that you don't like yourself. And the reason why that's so true is because when we aren't comfortable with who we are or what we did, that's why we don't be honest. So we start lying. Mm-hmm. Even though it's crazy because no matter how much I lied when I was struggling with, everybody already knew it. So they sitting there like, so you're not using drugs? And I'm like, nah. They like, so you woke up like that. So what's the reason for your face and your lips being all burnt up and all that? I'm tired. Yeah, come on. But we got to be completely honest with ourselves first, and everybody in our recovery circle.
Mm-hmm. And so it further reads, it says, nothing changes if nothing changes. Ask yourself, will more lying, more isolating, and more of the same make you feel better? The expression in AA is, nothing changes if nothing changes.
So true, so true.
If you don't change your life, then why would this time be any different? You need to create a new life where it's easy to not use. Recovery requires complete honesty. You must be 100% honest with the people in your recovery circle. If you can't be completely honest with them, you won't do well in recovery.
You have to be honest with your recovery circle because they are the people in your circle who want you to succeed or have the best outcome in your own life. So if you can't be honest with them, then it's going to be hard for them to give you the best education or clinical explanation for your situation. That's why I tell people that I mentor all the time, okay, come on, man, what's going on? And if you can't be honest with what you're telling me and you're going to give me the half of it, then I'm going to give you some half results. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give my whole self to you if you're not going to tell me the whole thing. So recovery requires complete honesty. No. If go ahead. No. If you can't be honest with that individual because you say you really can't trust them, why did you pick them to be somebody who should be in your circle in the first place?
Mm-hmm. I like what Mike said. Don't be partially honest. Yeah. Completely honest. Be completely honest. All right. So it's a further reads. It says when you're completely honest, you don't give your substance use disorder room to hide.
Woo! Tell on it. Hashtag. Put that in the comment section. Right. Tell on it. Tell on it.
That's right.
That's my favorite one right there. You have to tell on it. When you having thoughts about using, thoughts about committing some type of crime, thoughts about doing something outside what you're currently doing that's positive, you have to tell on it. What does that mean? Before, when I used to have thoughts about using, and this is during the course of my 12 years being away from it, before I even entered in going and having 12 years, and I attempted to stay away from my substance use disorder, I would have the thoughts about using, but I wouldn't tell my wife, I wouldn't tell my sponsor, I wouldn't tell my spiritual advisor. I would just keep it in my mind. I would just let it ponder in my head. Now, if I have any thoughts like that, I'll FaceTime my wife, say, hey, yo, listen, I'm thinking this right now. Like I'm thinking it like right now. I tell on it. When you tell on it, you take the power from the thought and put it back into your possession. Mm-hmm. You put the power back into your control. So right here, when it says, when you're completely honest, you don't give your substance use disorder room to hide. When you lie, you leave the door open to relapse. You have to tell on that thought.
Mm-hmm. So the article further states, one mistake people make in the early stages of recovery is they think that honesty means being honest about other people. They think that they should share what's wrong with other people. Take the focus off me, put it on somebody else.
I know what's wrong with it.
But I'm all right. I'm good. But recovery isn't about fixing other people. It's about fixing yourself. Stick with your own recovery. Focus on what you don't like about others. It's easy because it deflects attention from yourself.
Deflection.
Now, when I was in therapeutic community TC program, they always just tell us, keep the focus on yourself. And so a lot of times when I'm sharing my story, I like to remind myself, and I don't like to try, I remind myself to keep the focus on myself, because it's very important that I keep myself focused, because that's what we call keeping it green.
Keeping it green.
Keeping it green is keeping it down to the grassroots. There's no faking the funk. Just being honest, completely honest, not partial.
Focusing on, like I gotta go. Let me pull over, pause the park right here. Focusing on what you don't like about others is easy, because it deflects the attention from yourself. I can walk out this door right now, walk down the street and find something wrong with everybody, but that still wouldn't solve anything that I might be dealing with. So when we're talking about today being completely honest with yourself first, and with everyone in your recovery circle, you have to be completely honest with yourself first. Don't try to focus on other individuals, and that way you start to deflect the attention from you and put it on other individuals. I'll give you a prime example. I was talking to someone who was needing help, needed inpatient treatment. He went to the treatment place, but he eventually left. So I said, well, you told me you needed to go away. He said, yeah, I did. I said, so why did you leave? He said, because the staff. I said, first of all, stop. You went there for treatment for you. Forget what the staff said or what the staff was doing. It was not about the staff. It was about you. So when you start to, as soon as he started the conversation and say, well, the staff, I stopped him, because I instantly tried to point out to him, listen, I'm not saying what you're about to tell me about the staff was right or wrong. I'm saying that your focus was on the staff and not yourself. So when you're being completely honest, your focus has to be on you.
So the article continues to read. It says, honesty won't come naturally in the beginning. You'll spend so much time learning how to lie that telling the truth, no matter how good it is for you, won't feel natural. Wow. That's a long time of telling lies. All right. So it says you have to practice telling the truth a few hundred times before it becomes a little easier. Yeah. In the beginning, you'll have to stop yourself as you're telling a story and say, now that I think of it, it was more like this. Hey,
it's like, man, but you told me that story for 10 years, so now it's here. Well,
yeah. And so we used to have this story when I was in the Department of Correction as someone who resided as an inmate. Not as an employer or employee, but as an inmate.
I was involved. I had to like that was his last job.
Yeah, I had to keep the focus on myself, like the story says. Now that I think of it.
now now that I think how I said that,
Yeah,
let me clarify. When I mentioned Department of Correction, I wasn't talking about my last job.
Let me tell on myself. But anyway, yeah, I was once incarcerated. So we used to have this thing what we used to call war stories. You know, and a lot of times, you know, we have to, like I said earlier, keep it green. And a person know when you tell them war story. War story is basically when you just conjure up things to make it, you know, look good and fancy. And someone would, you know, not poke hole up, but they would reveal, say, hold up, man, that don't sound, that's far-fetched.
Well, last week the car was green. Now two black businesses. now you had two black businesses. Yeah. First you said you had a temple for.
And somebody know you from the street, and they gonna say, man, I remember you had them two hoopies. Yeah. It was not fences. So all right, honesty, completely honest.
It won't come naturally in the beginning, especially when you have a repeated lifestyle. When you're dealing with something that you're struggling with, I can almost guarantee you that if you're struggling with heroin, crack cocaine, alcohol, whatever the substance might be, I don't even care. Eventually, you develop a habit of lying. Because you develop that habit of lying is because you're trying to hide the thing that you enjoy doing. When in all honesty, I gotta be honest with you, everybody that you're trying to hide it from already knows, but to keep it a secret to yourself or to ourselves, we lie. So when we come, that's why it says honesty won't come naturally in the beginning. When that's talking about you coming out of that lifestyle of always lying and you changing your lifestyle so it won't come naturally. I remember initially when I was coming out, had some of the characteristics that I used to do when I would get paid, when I was actively using, I would hide money under my clothes so I can hide it and my wife don't know I got it and use it to get high. So now when I was clean, she said, you know you ain't gotta hide that no more. Why you keep hiding that money under your shirt? And I didn't realize that characteristic I kept. I was like, man, I don't know why I'm doing it. So it didn't come natural for me to realize that I don't have to do that no more. I can keep the money right in my pocket because I'm not using it for illegal things. So, but that all ties into being honest. All right. Number 4, right? Rule 4. Yeah. Rule 4, I'm sorry. You want me to go? You want me?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are only a few reasons why people use drugs and alcohol. They use to escape, relax, and reward themselves. In other words, people use drugs and alcohol as a form of self-care and self-medication. Mm-hmm. Recovery doesn't mean denying yourself ways to escape, relax, or reward yourself. It means finding better ways to do those things.
Wow.
If you don't find better ways to take care of yourself, you will eventually feel irritable, exhausted, and discontent. If you have those feelings for too long, you will begin to think about using just to escape.
Recovery doesn't mean denying yourself ways of escape, relax, and reward yourself. It means finding better ways to do those things. New coping skills. A lot of people use substance use disorder, use drugs, or use all types of alcohol or whatever to try to find ways to escape their present situation. They use it to possibly relax, and they also use sometimes to reward themselves. What we're saying is the change of lifestyle that we are offering you or suggest that you take, we're not saying that you're going to be denied opportunities to escape, relax, or reward yourself. I do those things now. When I want to escape everyday life, I'll probably go grab my pole, text my wife, send her a picture, I'm going fishing. When I get to where I'm fishing at, I take a picture where I'm at because I'm always about accountability. So I'm like, yo, this is where I'm at. That's what I do to escape if I'm going through chaotic situation. To relax, I find different things to do. To relax, I just got my machine from Amazon. It's got my office smelling so good. But anyway, I got my little essential oil machine in my office. I sit there and I relax, or I might read some of my the Bible, which is my spiritual foundation. And to reward myself, I always find opportunities to reward myself. It's always good to reward yourself. All of those things I used to do when I was actively using, I still do now. but I found better ways to do it. And that's what we got though.
Self-care.
Self-care.
Self-care may sound selfish. After all, who has time to escape, relax, and reward themselves? But that is exactly what people do when they turn to their substance use disorder. Self-care is essential for mental well-being. If you don't consciously make time for self-care, you will unconsciously make time for it by using. Self-care doesn't have to be fancy trips or frivolous shopping. It begins with healthy eating and sleeping habits. Develop better sleep habits so that you're less tired. Eat a healthier lunch so you're not as hungry at the end of the day. Learn how to relax so that you're not filled with fears and resentments. These are some of the components of HALT mentioned earlier.
This is, I'm gonna back up a little bit up here where she read self-care is essential for mental well-being. If you don't consciously make time for self-care, you will unconsciously make time for, I'm about to change the words right here, make time for it by using or being used by people. If you are a person who struggles with a substance use disorder and you don't have good self-care, you will let other people use you and it'll burn you out. So you got to understand self-care is not just about a person who has a substance use disorder or have an addiction or whatever you want to terminology you would like to use. If we don't properly take care of ourselves, we will let other people use us, burn us out. Then when we wore out, we can't go no more. Then we go sit on a chair, rocking chair, and then you be replaced at that same position. So you have to understand, you got to take care of yourself. Self-care is one of the most things that I preach in my own home, that we have to take care of ourselves. And anytime we ain't taking care of ourselves, we're going to burn out. We are human beings.
Oh, yeah. And especially under stressful situations. And I'm not advising this to anyone, but they have what they call sick time. And so if you're feeling that you need some time, and then some jobs and some places offer professional help. And so there's nothing wrong with seeking professional help.
Don't mean you're crazy.
Right. It doesn't mean that you're, because you're taking care of your mental state. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're no good to yourself or no one else around you. So take care of yourself.
All right. What was number? That's number 5, right? Are we still?
Self-care.
Where we at? Mind, body?
Yeah, mind, body, relax.
Mind, body relaxation. When you're tense, you tend to do what's familiar and wrong instead of what's new and right. When you're tense, you're not open to change. That is true. The evidence is overwhelming that vary from mind, body relaxation, yoga, mindfulness, meditation are effective in reducing the use of drugs and alcohol. Mind, body relaxation has also been shown to prevent relapse. I like that. Like I don't do yoga. I can, y'all want to see it? But anyway, I can do mindfulness meditation. I sit there and I contemplate or think about basically not too much of nothing deep. Just think about joyful moments. I remember going to a class when I was young and they would have calm scenes and they would play like waters and
behavior modification.
What that meant, we have calm scene and it would just say, don't think about no stress. And that was the crazy part about that was I was in prison. And they say, don't think about nothing stressful. So I'm thinking about all the good things in my life, not the bad stuff. So that's a relaxation. The first rule of recovery is that you must change your life, but what do you need to change? If people are using drugs and alcohol to relieve tension, then learning to relax is one of the most important skills if you want to change your life. Learning to relax. Don't always be on the go. Sometimes when I get home from work, I just sit there. I might watch the news or just, I don't have anything to run to. Just relax. Don't do nothing. Sometimes I might sit right on the porch. If you manage to stop using but don't learn how to relax, your tension will build and build until you have to relapse just to escape. Tension is one of the most common causes of relapse. There is only one reason why people don't relax, because they think they're too busy to relax. It goes something like this. I know it makes sense, but I've got so many other things I have to do. Ask yourself, how much time did you spend on your substance use disorder? If you add up all the time it took to get the drug, use it, deal with its consequences, plan your next relapse, you'll realize that relaxing for 20 to 40 minutes a day is a bargain. You add up all the time you took to go get it, use it, pay the consequence penalty. Man, that's a lot of time.
Mhm.
All right, relaxation is not an optional part of recovery, it is essential to recovery. There are many ways to relax. They range from simple techniques like going for a walk to more structured techniques like mindfulness and meditation. Meditation.
So if you like good music,
Good music.
you know, some people use gospel music, some
Yeah.
people like jazz, you know, R&B, something that can slow the heart level down, the thought process down, whereas you're not so much of a high rhythm, whereas you're constantly, your mind is running in and out, whereas you don't have time to think of calmness or the joy.
Relax.
You know, sometimes take time to smell the flowers.
Yeah, my pastor's wife said it best. You know you're not God, right? You ain't gonna be able to do it all and everything. You just relax, you know. Just take time to
Pull over, pause, pull over and pause.
pull over, pause, and pause.
All right.
Almost there.
He almost there. He about to
Still working on that phrase. We'll get it one day. Rule number 5. Don't bend the rules or try to negotiate your recovery.
this is a good one. It's a good one.
That's a heavy hitter right there. Don't bend the rules or try to negotiate your recovery.
Watch this.
Your substance use disorder has given you the opportunity to change your life. Changing your life is what makes recovery both difficult and rewarding. Use this opportunity. Don't resent your substance use disorder. Don't try to negotiate your recovery. Embrace your recovery, and you will be happier in life. Don't run from it. Embrace it. It's a new life. It's a new way of doing things. It's a new way of thinking out or strategizing how to handle conflicts when they do occur. You know, some people are confrontational, and so therefore, those of us that's in recovery, we learn how to use better techniques to how to deal with not only substance use disorder, but behavioral, social behavior issues as well. All right. Recovery is difficult because you have to change your life, and all change is difficult, even good change. Recovery is rewarding because you get the chance to change your life. Most people, watch this, sleepwalk through life.
Whoa.
All right?
Sleepwalk. Don't sleepwalk through life.
Most people sleepwalk through life. They don't think that they don't think about who they are or what they want to be. And then the day they wake up and wonder, wow, they are unhappy.
Yeah.
Your substance use disorder has given you an opportunity, and if you use this opportunity correctly, you'll look back on your substance use disorder as one of the best things that ever happened to you. People in recovery often describe themselves as grateful substance use disorder people. Why would someone be grateful to have a substance use disorder? Here go the answer. Because their substance use disorder helped them find an inner peace and tranquility that most people crave. Wow. Going through all of that, you have found some peace and calm. Remember, recovery can help you change your life.
It says because they noticed that some people have found inner peace and tranquility that most people crave. They see you, and after you have come out of that lifestyle you used to live, and they say, man, what's different about that person and me, man? They just look so peaceful. They're not waking up stressed out. They're not waking up. And that's available to everybody, but you got to start the process of recovery. So the thing that you read in that same paragraph in the beginning, it says, your substance use disorder has given you the opportunity. Everybody has the opportunity to live a different lifestyle than the lifestyle that they might be currently living. Everybody has it. But if you use that opportunity correctly, that's the difference. Some people aren't using it. I have friends that I talk to on a daily basis that started the recovery process with me in August 2009, but have went back multiple times to the same thing that we were trying to get away from. And I always tell them, y'all had the same opportunity as me. You just ain't used the opportunity correctly. Now, can they get up and start over? Prayerfully, they can, because you can't look at relapse the same as before. Before, the death toll is not as high before as it is now. So thinking you can relapse and then get back on your feet is just, things have changed. Yeah. So I suggest anywhere but backwards. Don't go back to it. Don't come back. Don't try and say, I can start over. I can do this. No, once you get the opportunity to get your life on track, use that opportunity, it says, correctly. And what that means is taking different lessons like this, watching videos like this, getting a sponsor, a mentor, build your spiritual foundation. Whatever pathway you want to use, I really don't care what pathway you pick. I just care about you living. I care that you live.
All right. So the last paragraph of this rule number 5, it states, relapse is rare after 5 years of abstinence. A study followed young adolescent men with an alcohol substance use disorder who were in recovery. Some were Harvard University undergraduates, and some were non-delinquent inner city adolescents. They did a study. The men were followed every 2 years by questionnaire, and every 5 years by physical examination until the age of 60. Wow. They did a study.
Good study.
Right? One was Harvard University undergraduates. That is an Ivy League school.
Yeah.
And the other was non-delinquent inner city adolescents. They did a study of them until the age of 60. A physical examination as well as a mental. The study concluded that after 5 years of abstinence, relapse is rare. Recovery is possible.
Wow. Use this opportunity. Don't resent your substance use disorder. Don't try to negotiate your recovery. Embrace your recovery and you will be happier in life.
Yeah. So we here at Capital Recovery Center, if it does take you 5 years, so what? You know, some people get it faster than others, some people don't. However, we encourage everyone to reach out to us here at the office. Telephone numbers flying across the screen. Reach out to us, contact us, and we will assist you along your journey.
And don't forget the 5 rules of recovery that we went over. One was change your life so that it's easier to not use. 2, ask for help and develop a recovery circle of close friends, family, healthy professionals, and recovery groups. 3, be completely honest with yourself and everyone in your recovery circle. 4, practice self-care. And 5, don't bend the rules or try to negotiate your recovery. Again, my name is Michael Williams. I'm one of your grateful recovery coaches. We see you guys on Thursday at 1 p.m. for all recovery.